U.S. Paralympic fencer Ellen Geddes is headed to the 2024 Paralympic Games in Paris next week. A former competitive equestrian, Geddes' journey to the Paralympic Games and her passion for the sport is inspirational. And one thing's for sure, she's not on the fence about her hopes and dreams of going for gold. Ellen, it is such a pleasure to chat with you. First, I got to talk about you and your upbringing a little bit. You're a South Carolina native, so that's so exciting. Talk about your childhood and just your upbringing here in the Palmetto State.
Yeah, so I grew up in Aiken, South Carolina, which is horse country. And so riding horses and competing was like my first foray into sport. Through that, I was able to meet people who, competed internationally in various equestrian events, dressage and some eventing. And through that, I became aware of like international sport. And so, before I got injured, I was very aware of, the ins and outs and intricacies of like working with a national governing body and, managing the idea of competing internationally. And so, when I got to transition and start competing myself, I felt pretty used to at least all of the behind the scenes aspects of competition. So it kind of helped me out there.
And you have such an inspiring story. You were a former competitive equestrian, but suffered from a spinal cord injury back in 2011. And you were introduced to the sport actually through rehab. Share that story with us.
Yeah, so I went to get spinal cord injury rehab after I broke my back from the Shepherd Center in Atlanta. And they are really big on sports teams and trying to get people to get started in sport after they acquire an injury. And so we were just going down to the gym one morning to do some extra working out, and the Shepherd fencing team was there, and the team captain asked me if I thought it would be fun to stab people, and I said yes, and now here we are.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. Just talk about your training up until the big games. I mean, going to the big stage in Paris, and I'm sure that you have several career moments that you enjoyed. So just talk about that training process and maybe one of the highlights of your career so far.
Yeah, I've had an amazing 3 years post Tokyo. Like usually it's 4, but we're short because Tokyo was late. Competing, I have won medals at World Cups. I have 5 bronze medals from this past quad, 2 silver medals from World Cups, and then 3 gold medals and a bronze from like our America's Zonal Championship. So I've had a pretty amazing like last 3 years of sport. I think that like probably the highlight for me is actually the second silver medal that I won in Pisa, Italy. I was pretty injured after day 1. And so the ability to like go out there and keep going and manage to like do it again the second day and get another silver medal was pretty special to me.
Absolutely. Being able to push through and still come out on top with the medal, that is awesome. Talk about a message that you would have for those that might have a physical disability who aspire to compete on a world stage like yourself, or just about going after their dreams in general. What message would you have for them?
So you just have to get started, and you're not going to be good right away. And it's still worthwhile to like keep going and keep trying because it just does take time to get good at something. And so when I started fencing, I was not good right away. I went to a lot of competitions and was not successful before I started being successful. And so I think just like sticking with something, even if you're going out there and like losing on the competitive stage, is you're going to get better. You're going to make progress, and like you can make it to the top of sport if that's what you want.
And absolutely, you are going to make it to the top. We here in South Carolina are rooting for you, Ellen. We are so excited. And again, you can catch Ellen in the 2024 Paralympic Games in Paris. It starts 1 week from today on Wednesday, August 28th until September 8th. You can catch it on NBC, USA, and Peacock. Don't go anywhere. We have more midday after the break.